North Carolina House members with education, law enforcement, and mental health policy backgrounds will serve on a special committee to examine K-12 school safety standards and recommend any changes. House Speaker Tim Moore announced on Tuesday the more than 40 members to serve on the House Select Committee on School Safety. A lieutenant with the Avery County Sheriff's Office received on Tuesday one of the highest awards a public safety officer can receive. President Donald Trump presented Lieutenant William Buchanan with the Medal of Valor. Buchanan tells WSOC News,
I actually don't think that I am a hero. I've done what any other man would have done, and thank God for being here.
The White House says Vice President Mike Pence was planning to have a one-on-one with Kim Jong-un's sister at the start of the Winter Olympics, but the historical meeting was canceled at the last minute. The State Department saying Pence had been ready to take this opportunity, but would have used it to insist that Pyongyang abandon its nuclear weapons and ballistic missile program. BBC correspondent Stephen McDonald.
The attempts by Moon Jae-in to pull both sides together failed. He spoke to the North Koreans and said, why don't you meet the Americans and speak to them? And he apparently is the one who's been the intermediary, suggesting to Mike Pence that he meet with the North Koreans. So he'd be disappointed that that meeting didn't take place.
The U.S. Supreme Court is ending North Carolina's fight for a say in the operation and ownership of 4 hydroelectric dams. You're listening to NCN News.
Who is the North Carolina High School Athletic Association?
We're dedicated educators, coaches, and mentors.
We are over 200,000 student athletes.
We are 413 member high schools from small towns and big cities, anywhere from Murphy to Manteo.
We're your neighbors and friends that put on the striped shirts and officiate the games you love every week.
We are making a difference in building leaders of communities and this nation for the next generation.
Who are we? We are high school. We are the NCHSAA.
A Democrat in the governor's mansion, an unconventional Republican in the White House, new state House and Senate election maps, all important factors for politics and public policy in North Carolina. What does it all mean? Carolina Journal has the answers, available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Hardin County Sheriff Wayne Coates and Superintendent Dr. Aaron Fleming outlined plans to place law enforcement officers in all elementary schools. Superintendent Fleming estimates it will cost approximately $75,000 until the end of the school year.
We're actually taking it out of our existing funds. We're having to cut a few things in the education program, not with safety, but some within our instructional dollars to be able to do this.
More celebrities get behind South Florida students rallying for gun control. CBS News correspondent Deborah Rodriguez has an update.
George and Amal Clooney started it by donating $500,000 to next month's gun control march in Washington, being organized by survivors of the Parkland, Florida school shootings. Now, Oprah Winfrey is matching the money, along with Hollywood powerhouses Steven Spielberg and Jeffrey Katzenberg, for a total of $2 million. In a tweet, Oprah says the students remind her of the Freedom Riders of the 60s, who also said, "We've had enough, and our voices will be heard." The Clooneys say they'll be in the nation's capital for that rally on the 24th.
Team USA continues to rack up the medals at the Winter Olympics and even make some history.
This was a dramatic finish. 3 countries were battling to the end, the U.S., Norway, and Sweden. At the very end, the U.S. was able to catch Sweden and barely cross the finish line in front of the Swedish team. This is the 6th gold medal for the U.S. here in Korea, and it's the first time American women have ever won an Olympic medal of any kind in cross-country skiing. Steve Futterman, CBS News at the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang.
The State Transportation Department has dedicated a bridge along the Outer Banks to a U.S. Coast Guard captain who went from being a slave to the first African-American to command a life-saving station. The state dedicated the Pea Island Interim Bridge as the Captain Richard Etheridge Bridge. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356. From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Students who ran for their lives from a South Florida high school where 17 died last week are set to walk up to the Florida State Capitol building in less than an hour. Student John Barnett says while they don't want to scrap all gun rights,
we don't think that people should be able to possess a semi-automatic, which can be a weapon of mass destruction.
ABC's Jim Ryan is in Tallahassee.
This meeting of the minds will feature teenagers like Kevin Trejos, who lived through the shooting rampage at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High.
We, the people of Stoneman Douglas, are looking for change. We're looking for gun laws to be changed.
Sitting across the table from, among others, 65-year-old Florida Governor Rick Scott.
My goal is to continue to get input, meet with legislators and students, but by Friday have a proposal that will go to the House and the Senate.
A proposal that's likely to have more to do with adding armed personnel to schools rather than banning any category of weapon. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Tallahassee.
President Trump will focus on school safety this afternoon.
The White House says today's listening session will focus on a wide range of issues to hear from students about their concerns about school safety and their ideas on what can be done. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders.
Unfortunately, when horrific tragedies like this happen, everybody wants a quick and a simple answer, but there isn't one.
Administration officials say the president wants to meet with people of varying experiences and perspectives. He'll hold a similar conversation with governors later this month. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
ABC News confirms there was almost a meeting between Vice President Mike Pence and North Korean officials at the Olympics. ABC's Alex Stone is in Pyeongchang.
The meeting seemed like it was doomed from the beginning. Just before they were set to sit down, the U.S. unveiled new sanctions against North Korea and ratcheted up the tough talk. Immediately, North Korea announced it wasn't interested in talking politics during the Olympics.
ABC's Alex Stone. Olympics results, U.S. taking the first gold in cross-country skiing. This is ABC News.
Okay, so where do more Americans turn first in the morning to start their day? Go on, tell them, Robin.
Good morning, America.
George.
Good morning, America.
Mara.
Good morning, America.
So, take it from Robin.
What's so good in your morning?
With ABC's Good Morning America.
To relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This fast-acting foam is clinically proven to relieve leg and foot cramps. TheraWorks Relief can also prevent muscle cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today at select CVS and Rite Aid pharmacies or TheraWorksRelief.com.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch, or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Conservatives are gathering this week in Washington. They will hear from President Trump in a few days. Here's ABC's Andy Field.
CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference back in Washington, will hear from the president and a number of ultra-conservative European politicians, including Mariam Maréchal Le Pen, former UK Independence Party leader Nigel Farage, and Hungarian U.S. citizen Sebastian Gorka, whose resignation the president recently accepted. CPAC not listing when the NRA will speak for security reasons. Andy Field, ABC News.
There is a new report that missile scare in Hawaii caused by a bogus alert sent out to mobile phones. Governor David Ige says one part of the solution is help from the federal government.
The warning function is a government function that cannot be handled by the state alone. The report does talk explicitly about working with all levels of government, federal, county, and state.
The report also says state officials started testing alerts before actually coming up with a plan on how to deal with a real missile threat, should they ever need one. And the latest project by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos is a clock. A big, big clock. He says construction has begun in Texas on a 500-foot-tall solar-powered clock that will keep time for the next 10,000 years. According to Wired magazine, Bezos, who says this is an exercise in long-term thinking, he's already spent $42 million of his own dollars on the project. This is ABC News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. Get free of credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and medical bills. Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, too. Don't go bankrupt. You'll have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Call Total Financial now at 866-844-7344. That's 866-844-7344.
Have you noticed what's going on at Oakland Feed and Seed?
Cheapest price in town on propane refills. 20-pound cylinder, $11.99. Forklift cylinder, $17.99. And the 100-pound cylinder is $55.99. Whole corn, $6.99 for the 50-pound bag. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 for the 50-pound bag. 17-17-17, just $12.50 for the 50-pound bag. Check with Oakland Feed and Seed for all prices. You'll find them the cheapest around. It's a generational thing. Your dad and your dad's dad shopped at Oakland Feed and Seed. Oakland Road, Spindale, locally owned and operated.
Our weather's under the influence of high pressure at the surface where we are in a loft as well, and it's bringing in a lot of low-level moisture and warmth. So we'll go from morning clouds and fog becoming partly to mostly cloudy and warm this afternoon, the high in the low to mid-70s. Tonight is partly to mostly cloudy. Fog develops late tonight and toward daybreak Thursday, the low in the low 60s. Thursday morning, it's clouds and fog. It's partly to mostly cloudy in the afternoon and warm, the high temperature in the low to mid-70s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. Good morning, everybody. It is 6 minutes after 7 on this Hump Day Wednesday morning. Light rain falling here in our neighborhood, 62 degrees. We're expecting to get up to about 73 with some scattered showers throughout the day today. And rain's in the forecast, as a matter of fact, every day this week. Scattered showers again Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then on Sunday we have scattered showers, highs around 71. We're getting up to 75 tomorrow for a daytime high with a 40% chance of scattered showers. Again, right now it's cloudy, light rain, and 62 degrees. Now I have these death announcements this morning. Mr. Lester Green, 83 of Bostic, died Tuesday at Rutherford Regional Medical Center. Arrangements are incomplete and will be announced by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service. Again, that's Mr. Lester Green. Charles Donald Don Spratt, 73 of Ellenboro, died Friday at Mission Hospitals in Asheville. Services will be private for the family, and the Pageant and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements, and online guest registry available at pageantking.com for Charles Donald Don Spratt. William Billy Sexton II, age 47 of Ellenboro, died Monday at Carolina's Medical Center in Cleveland. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be announced by Harrelson Funeral Home for William Billy Sexton II. Danny Caveman Putnam, age 53 of Beaver Street, Forest City, died Friday. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 o'clock today at the Gooch Creek Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Danny Caveman Putnam. Johnny Sherrill Womack, age 62, of Ferry Road, Forest City, died Monday at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. The funeral service will be conducted at 7 o'clock Wednesday at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. That's today. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service at the funeral home. A committal service will be held 10 o'clock Thursday at Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services serving the family of Johnny Sherrill Womack. Merrill J. Rich, age 86 of Spindale, died Saturday at Hospice of Carolina's Foothills. The funeral service will be conducted at 11 o'clock Thursday at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Burial will follow in Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral Home, serving the family of Merrill J. Rich of Spindale. Ann S. Callahan, age 83 of Spindale, died Friday at Hospice House. The memorial service will be at Advent Lutheran Church of Spindale, 2 o'clock Saturday. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Service is in charge of the arrangements for Ann S. Callahan. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For the complete information on these and others as they come into us can be heard today at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB in Rutherford. Join us for those opportunities each day, Monday through Friday. It's time for the Caller Run Report coming up here in just a few moments. Let me remind you, though, there's a country ham and chicken pie supper Saturday at 5 until 7 at Spencer Baptist Church in Spindale. $10, all you can eat. Bring the family and come on out.
No matter what else is happening, the state of the economy will play a pivotal role in the 2018 and 2020 elections. And that's why a story in their beloved New York Times has to be shaking Democrat leaders to their core. The story reinforces what I have already told you. Trump's tax cuts are having a dramatic impact. The Times reports that for the first time, the new tax law has more supporters than detractors. A majority, 51% now approve of it, 46% do not. The Times links that change to Democrats' falling poll numbers. The article profiles a member of the politically precious category, an independent female, a school teacher who typically votes Democrat. Although she initially opposed the Trump tax plan, she found out that it will help the startup tech company that her husband works for, so her opinion changed. It's not just independents who are changing their view. Support among Democrats was only 8% in December. Today, it's 19%. And now, almost half the public thinks the new tax law will directly benefit them. When people vote, they'll answer a simple question. Would they rather have more money in their wallets from a strong, growing economy or go back to the gloom, misery, and stagnation the Democrats called the new normal? It's an easy choice. Wait and see.
Angie's List has collected millions of verified reviews of local home service providers, and now they're free for everyone to read. Angie's List makes it easy for you to find top-quality service providers in your area for any type of home project. Search for a great pro in your area, or let Angie's List instantly match you to a few who can do the job. To get the most reviews from real customers, all for free, go to angieslist.com today.
We're asking people why Shave Secret is the best shave ever.
Shave Secret is an oil, not a foam. Best shave ever.
No nicks, cuts, rashes, or ingrown hairs. Best shave ever.
Yeah, Shave Secret. My skin feels smooth and soft. Best shave ever.
Shave Secret for the
best shave ever.
Shave Secret. Available at Walmart Supercenters, Wegmans, and shavesecret.com.
WCAB has been serving the community with family-friendly radio programming for 50 years. Thank you, Rutherford County, for making WCAB your radio station of choice. Turn it up. WCAB 590 Rutherfordton.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Tata. When Tommy was a child, he had an insatiable need to move. Whether it was jumping on his trampoline for hours or staying up all night, this boy was a ball of energy. Eventually, Tommy was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. What's more, he learned how to channel all this energy through running. Now, the more Tommy runs, the less anxious he feels. Plus, running has expanded Tommy's circle of friends. It turns out, running can actually help with autism. In a recent study, researchers found that people with autism who ran or walked for 20 minutes twice per week had better cognition, social awareness, and communication skills, as well as fewer repetitive behaviors. So, to learn more about the benefits of running for people who have autism and watch a video on Tommy's story, just visit disabilitycampaign.org. It's all there for you.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
It's important, I think, to support locally owned businesses, locally grown businesses from right here in our county. Many of you have been supporting companies like Southern Carpet since 1993, when Gerald and Lynn Toney set out to be the best they could be in the carpet and floor covering business, and it's paid off. They've served their customers well. The customers have supported them, and everybody's a win-win. They brought their son Clayton into the business with the same work ethic. Work hard, treat people fair, sell good merchandise. That's the success behind Southern Carpet and floor covering in Forest City. 1512 West Main Street, right across from North State Gas Company. Let's support our locally homegrown businesses. After all, they help make us what we are today.
Dave Rudeball was born in Missouri in 1841. Moving to Kansas at the age of 18, Dave started a gang that rounded up and sold other people's cattle. By the age of 29, he and his gang moved on to robbing payroll trains and railroad construction camps. Obviously, the railroad didn't like Rudeball's activities, so they hired Wyatt Earp to stop them. But Wyatt didn't inhibit Rudeball's activities, for in January of 1878, he and his gang robbed a train in Kansas. Unfortunately for Rudeball, this was an area protected by Bat Masterson. Before Rudeball's gang had a chance to spend the rewards of their labors, they found themselves in jail. Being a man lacking in character, Rudeball turned state's evidence against his comrades and gained his freedom. During the summer of 1880, Rudeball joined the gang of a New Mexico ruffian by the name of Billy the Kid. Then Rudeball and Billy the Kid ran into a posse led by Sheriff Pat Garrett. Rudeball was arrested, tried, and sentenced to hang. Facing a rope, Rudeball went underground. He dug a tunnel and hightailed it to Old Mexico. For 5 years, Dave Rudeball created all kinds of havoc in Mexico. Then this man who had lived in the shadow of others got his moment of glory. For on February 19, 1866, the local Mexican villagers, fed up with Rudeball, killed him. They cut off his head, stuck it on a pole in the center of the village, and had a fiesta. For once, Dave Rudeball, or at least a part of Rudeball, was the center of attention. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
It's a wonderful Wednesday morning hump day here in the foothills, 17 past 7. Let's get going to the phones now, find out what's been happening in the past 24 hours or so. And Deputy Lancaster is on the phone with me right now from the Sheriff's Department. Good morning. How you doing, sir?
Good, sir. How about yourself?
Doing great, thanks. Tell us what's been happening.
Well, in the last 24 hours, we've had 150 calls for service, 17 arrests, and we're currently housing 174 in the jail. As far as incident reports go, we have a breaking and entering and larceny after breaking and entering reported by Terry Jean Junk. Reported that a flat screen TV was taken from his residence on Camp Creek Church Road. We have a breaking and entering, larceny after breaking and entering, and a breaking and entering a motor vehicle reported by Bailey Barron Killer from the Durham Road area in Mooresboro. Reported that a computer charger was taken, a vehicle car key, and satellite equipment was taken. As far as arrests go, we've got Bruce Wayne Givens Sr. arrested with assault with a deadly weapon, government official, communicating threats, and assault on a female. He was placed under a $20,000 secured bond. We have a Katie Christina Geddes arrested for two counts of contributed delinquency of a juvenile, given a $5,000 unsecured bond. We got a Charday Monique Carroll arrested for 2 counts of identity theft, 2 counts of obtaining property by false pretense, placed under a $20,000 unsecured bond. William Todd Porter arrested for 1 count of possession of controlled substance in jail or prison. There's $5,000 unsecured bond. And Jeremy Scott Wiggins arrested for 1 count violation of domestic violence protection order, is given no bond. And that's all I've got.
David Lancaster, thank you for that report, and be safe out there today.
Thank you.
See you now. 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and we'll continue circling the county till we get all the news we can roll in this morning. Right now, let's hear this. The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. Well, have you tried those wings at Gregory's Original yet? Boy, they are very, very popular. You'll try those maybe at lunchtime today or tonight at dinner, or maybe have them picked up a bunch to take home for a party you got coming up. Anyway, you can get the best food around. The place folks in Rutherford County love to eat and love to recommend, and that's Gregory's Original. You can enjoy it fresh and delicious every time. Burgers, subs, grinders, pastas, garden salad, steaks prepared to your perfection. Choose Gregory's for lunch or dinner today. They're open Monday through Friday, 11 to 9, Saturdays 4 to 9. And the phone number is 287-2171 if you want to call your order in, or maybe call Gregory and talk about catering your next event. Gregory's Original. You cannot beat it. Here's Candy now with the 911 report from the Communications Center. Candy, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Center has processed 407 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 39 for EMS, 12 for rescue. From law enforcement, the Sheriff's Office had 150, Forest City had 63, Rutherford had 22, Lake Lure had 6, Spindale had 65. Our fire calls, Forest City responded to a motor vehicle accident, and that's all we had.
Thanks, Candy. You have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
One of the hottest things going on in automobile world today is the fuel-efficient Ford Escape from Sisk Family Ford. You get more value for your money with the Ford Escape, and you'll appreciate the comfort and the value in this remarkable automobile. Try one on for comfort today at Sisk Family Ford, and whenever you need top-of-the-line service on any automobile you own, be sure to bring it to the experts at Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Today we're being kind to all the teachers of special needs students. Though that's a real ministry and a real calling. And so we salute all the teachers of special needs students today, courtesy of WCAB. Here's Ruby Taylor from Danieltown with the SDO Fire District Report. Ruby, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on that report, Ruby?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls. And on my birthday calendar, I've got Paul Hambrick, Tony Harris, and Christina Sheehan having birthdays. Hope they have a nice day. And the signs are in the neck today and going to the arms tomorrow. And Jim, that's all I've got.
I appreciate it, Ruby. Have a good one.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, we told you some good things about the drop-in food store yesterday. We visited over at Bostic Live over there, and today I want to just tell you about the coffee and the biscuits. That's special right now at Drop-In. Visit the Drop-In every morning for a sausage biscuit for only $1.29. To tell me where you can beat it. But I'll tell you something even better. Get a sausage biscuit and a 12-ounce cup of hot, delicious S&D coffee, just $1.99. Now, that's a good breakfast. For lunch, try the golden fried chicken breast box with potato wedges and a roll, only $3.99. Well, you can add a 32-ounce fountain drink or iced tea, and you have your lunch for under $5. Think about Drop-In for springtime because it's not far away. There's still some cold nights ahead, though. The Drop-In has clean and clear K1 kerosene, available at West Main, Oak Street, and Shiloh locations. And for those lawnmowers and weed eaters, remember Sandy Mush location has the non-ethanol gas. The Drop-In has you covered 7 days a week with ATM locations. ATM location, every location. The Drop-In and Major League's Deli are proud to be Rutherford County's Veterans Service Only Platinum sponsor. All veterans enjoy a 10% discount on all fountain items all day, every day. Not just once in a while, all day, every day. Let them know you're a veteran, you get that discount. The Drop-In stores have been serving Rutherford County since 1981, and that is a real solid history. And we support our local-owned businesses. Let's go up to Rumning Ball and talk with Steve this morning, see if we can find out what's happening up there in the mountains. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Jim. I can't see much, but we're here.
It's sort of thick out there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's been the theme lately. It's not exactly Chamber of Commerce week here. It's not, people aren't lined up down the street to get in right now. Fishing's pretty good. Since it's been warming up, I've been hearing some pretty good fish stories.
Oh, yeah?
So,
well, are the fish stories for real, or are they just making that up?
I know. Maybe they just think that people will believe them since it's warmed up. I don't know. But I hear that the fish are starting to bite. So,
I've heard fishermen tell stories about the size of fish they caught, and every time they tell the story, the fish gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
They do, don't they? Oh, yeah. But we're just going to listen to what they have to say and agree with them, I guess. We're starting a garden club for those that live here and may be interested. Contact security. We're going to do a garden club, and it's going to be a couple of gardens right near security, flower gardens. So we're going to get some residents here to participate and maybe spruce the place up a little bit and give some folks some good hobbies. And we'll try to keep the deer off the.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Actually, I do know a few nurseries that use some malorganite, which is an old golf course fertilizer, and deer supposedly do not like that. It's cheap. So so far it's worked for me.
What's it called? What's it called?
Malorganite.
Malorganite?
Yeah, malorganite. And it's made in only one place in Chicago.
Ah.
Made from sewage treatment.
Oh.
So you don't want to use that stuff on your vegetables.
Yeah.
But for your flowers, I've used it for 2 years now. It's pretty good stuff. So
sounds like you don't want to use it right outside your kitchen window either.
No, actually, actually you can't. I don't detect much of a smell from it whatsoever.
Well, that's a good thing.
The deer can.
Yeah.
So apparently it doesn't taste very good, doesn't smell too good, and I've always wondered about some of these nursery friends that I have that have their big nurseries out in the woods, and their gardens go unfetished for the deer or whatever.
That must be the answer.
That's it. So. In it, I'm going to help with some seedlings in the beginning, and kind of let them do all the planning and stuff, because it's going to be for the homeowners.
Yeah.
We'll just kind of watch out and keep the deer off of it if we can. So
I look forward to seeing how that turns out.
Yeah. We already got the area marked off. We got the irrigation set up. So really, that's half of it right there, or more than half when you got the irrigation. So just put them in the ground and just watch them grow. And pull a few weeds every now and then.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, that's all we got going on. No emergencies. We got our first aid training yesterday done. I had about 16 people there, so
good.
So we're now good there, and we're just gonna get ready. We got a week away from March, so we're getting close to spring. Hopefully,
moving right along.
I'm ready.
The robins are already out.
I'm all ready for it.
Listen, have a great day up there and stay out of the rain, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll try.
All right, see you. Bye-bye. 28 minutes after 7 o'clock. That's Steve there at the Gatehouse at Rumling Ball.
I told my friend about Olmsted Plumbing, and boy, was she happy.
What did she have to say?
I told her to call 245-7302, and they would get right out there.
And did she say she would
I told her to ask around. Homeowners, builders, and everybody likes Olmsted. Eric and Chad Olmsted and their team understand the homeowners' needs, and I like that.
They have an inventory of replacement parts and specialized equipment and tools for any job.
I told her that, too.
Well, what was that number again?
245-7302. That's 245.
Yeah, I got it. 245-7302. Olmsted Plumbing. Now at 28 past the hour of 7 o'clock, we're being kind today to teachers of special needs students. We appreciate you and admire you. Keep up the good work. Now let's head toward Hudlow Fire District. And Mr. Bob Hodge is on the phone with you right now. Bob, good morning.
Well, good hump day morning.
It certainly is, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Well, thank you. It is you too there.
Thank you.
Wednesday here already. It's downhill from here on there.
It is indeed, and one more Wednesday and this month will be gone. It's a short month, you know.
Yes, it is there, yeah. Let's see. Next Thursday will be the first day of March there, so this month's just about gone here. But we've been getting a little rain up here again during the night, and this morning, but maybe won't get too much. We'll get some of that sunshine maybe again later on today like we did yesterday there.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked good.
That was real good there yesterday evening there. But Jim, up here with the fire department, no fire calls during the night, so that's good. And maybe it'll stay that way today, and we'll have a good day up here. And Jim, news is sort of short. Ain't too much going on, and
well, sometimes
I hope
that's
you
a good
have
thing.
a good day.
Thank you. I hope you have a great day, too. Sometimes when no news, that's good news.
That's good news, ain't it?
It sure is.
That's right.
Keep your eye on things for us, Bob, and we'll look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bob Hodge up at Hudlow. Nice and quiet up there, 30 minutes after 7. You know, when your name's on the business, you know you want it done right. You don't want your name slandered or anything like that. You work hard to try to keep that name recognized and taken care of. That's what Hutchins Pest Control does. They do it right. They have honest, dependable, and on-time service. Hutchins Pest Control that was voted best in the business 8 years in a row. And they appreciate the confidence you placed in them. And they promise to continue being the best they can be in the pest control business. Honest, dependable, and on time. Why don't you call them to get to your home real soon? 287-519.
Good morning, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hope you are.
I am indeed.
Oh, good. Well, it's a nice morning over here, 64 degrees. I don't think it's raining here yet. I haven't seen any, but I guess we're going to get some today sometime. And that'll be all right. We're getting used to it, I guess. Might as well be. But anyway, I didn't have any calls from the fire department. I don't have any. The only birthday I have is on my personal calendar, and it's for Arnold Van Dyke, so I hope he'll have a good day. And nothing on the other two calendars, so not much celebrating going on over this way, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a good day and enjoy it, even if it is a little dreary, but that's okay. My birds are having a good time out there on the feeders. They don't mind the weather, whatever it is. They just come anyway.
They just go crazy, don't they?
They do. I got finches, and they're so pretty, but they cover their little feeder up. I don't reckon I have any news, Jim. It's just quiet and calm over here. I hadn't had any calls for announcements, so it's just a quiet time, but we enjoy that, and I hope you'll have a good day today.
Thanks very much, Sue. You enjoy your day, too. Keep us posted on anything developing, and we'll check back in with you next time.
Okay. Right, bye-bye.
That's Cherry Mountain reporting this morning. Cherry Mountain Fire District reporting in. Over at Farmer's Friend, you can find shelled deer corn, 50-pound bag of that, $7. Corn on the cob, $8 a bag. Also, they have in stock right now red potatoes, red Pontiac seed potatoes, Kennebec seed potatoes, Yukon Gold seed potatoes. Onion sets are also available. It's time to be thinking about those kind of things. It's time to start pre-emergent with your lawns for crabgrass preventions too. Talk with them at Farmer's Friend about that, and they'll help you get the right thing that's needed there. They're now selling Victor dog food and the propane. Come get your tanks filled for those cookouts. Propane grill tanks, 20-pound, only $10.99. So much more. You'll just have to see for yourself when you visit Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supplies. They offer free delivery, too, or offer delivery. Ask about for details, and they'll tell you all about that at Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supplies. Not sure if that delivery is free or not, but they can certainly explain all that to you. Right across the road here at 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherfordton. Phone number is 287-3272.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
We're struggling our way up to Union Mills now to get the Kelly Report from Miss Brenda. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this wonderful Wednesday morning?
Wonderful, wet, and wild Wednesday.
That's exactly right. All of the above.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's been wet for a long time, hasn't it?
Sure has. We can start mildew in here before you know it.
Yeah.
But maybe
not.
Maybe the sun will shine. I can't even talk. Sun will shine a little today.
Well, we hope so. Yeah. We need to see it. I'd like to see it for 2 or 3 days in a row.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Dry up some of the dampness.
You doing all right up there?
I am, but I don't like hearing when people are stealing stuff in my neighborhood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that Terry Johnson, that flat screen TV.
Yeah.
Off of Camp Creek, that's in my neighborhood.
Uh-oh.
I don't like that.
Well, it's almost, I don't know, but it's almost like when they do something like that, it's almost like they know what's in the house.
Well, possible, yeah. But that upsets me, and I don't like a thief and a liar in the first place.
I don't either.
I got no use for neither one of them. But people do it, so there you are. You just, I don't know.
So you don't want to spend any time in Washington, D.C. then, do you?
No, because most of them thieves and liars. I've made the remark lots of times, we need to get rid of everybody up on the hill and start all over again with people we know personally and can trust. And I've told you for years and years and years, you ought to run for president, and you won't.
Well, I don't know.
Getting too late in the game now, though,
A little bit late in the game, yeah. I'm afraid my quarterbacking skills might not be as sharp as they should be. But unfortunately, the good ones, there are some good ones there. Unfortunately, the negative news overshadows that, and we don't hear much of the good things. We only hear the bad things.
Yeah.
Well, there's some good things going on. It's just that they don't like to play on it. I was telling Todd earlier about the Olympics. I've been trying to watch a little bit of that. I remember when the Olympics those young people went to win medals. Now everything's political. It's got to be a political statement, or there's got to be a political overtone in everything that's done. But I can remember them. They just went and competed and tried to win a medal. Now they got to be political.
Yeah, it's getting where everything's like that. It's I don't know. I don't understand it. But I'll tell you one thing. I think these young people from down there in Florida where that school shooting happened, I think their voices are going to be heard.
Yeah, they sure are speaking out, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's going to take something like that. Like at Sandy Hook, those children were so young they couldn't.
Yeah.
And I just thought, these young people might get something done.
Well, I hope they're doing it because they believe in what they're doing and not because they're being encouraged by some a special interest group.
Yeah, well, I think they're doing it because they were there, they experienced it, and they know what it's like, and they don't want it to happen to other people. I think that's their whole main thing. And I'm not against guns, but I think there's laws out there that can make it harder for people to get guns, like, that young boy that wasn't but 18. He couldn't buy a beer, but he can go out and buy an assault rifle. That don't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, they might could tweak some of those laws a little bit. I'm a big gun advocate myself, but there might be some tweaking that can be done.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. But then people say, well, they can get on the black market. Yeah, but it would be a lot harder.
Well, the bad guys are going to get the guns regardless. The new laws, the stricter laws, are going to hurt those of us who are law-abiding citizens. We're not going to break the law to do it, but those guys who want to break the law, they're going to break the law, period.
That's exactly right. Don't matter what it is.
So new laws on those of us who are law-abiding gun lovers, it hurts us more than it hurts anybody else.
Yeah.
And we're not going to go out and shoot up a school.
No, I'm not.
It's the bad guys that go do that, and they're going to get the guns anyway.
That's right, if they hadn't already got them.
Exactly.
Well, let's see. I've got 58 degrees on the front porch. That's warm for February, ain't it?
Yes.
But we'll take it. But birthdays and anniversaries, I've got Robert Hamilton, Scott Hughes, and Sonia and Michael Bowles' wedding anniversary. I don't have anything around here, so I hope these people have a great old big day on their special day. And in ways of announcements, we got a country breakfast Saturday, February the 24th from 7 to 10 a.m. This is at the White House Community Center on Painters Gap Road in Union Mills. Adults is $6. Children 6 to 12 is $3. Under 6 is free. They've got all kind of good food, and all proceeds go to the upkeep. Family functions for $50 a day. You can call Diane Barker at 828-625-4502. Excuse me. Then we got the Union Mills Learning Center on Hudlow Road in Union Mills on Friday, March 2nd at 7 p.m. It's going to have Foothills 5. Meal begins at 6 p.m. and the cost is $5 for the meal. And they're going to have pintos, potatoes, cornbread, kraut and wieners, or cabbage, dessert, and drink. Music begins at 7 p.m., and they'll have a tip jar available for the band. Come join us for a great night of fellowship. And other than that, I don't reckon I have anything that I know of.
All right, Brenda, thanks so much for that report, and you be good up there, behave yourself, and stay out of trouble, and stay dry, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, catch you later.
All right, bye. There's a lot of responsibility up there, isn't it? 41 past 7 o'clock. We'll get to the next phone call here in just a moment. But first, let's see what kind of new car we can find.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
You know, a rather untreated hearing loss can be one of the early causes of early dementia. It's noted, it's written that if people who don't have good hearing, they start losing their hearing, they start isolating themselves and close in, and that sort of stimulates the early dementia. But there's something that could possibly be done about it, and it's so easy in the process and so conveniently located. That's the trip to Miracle Ear over in Forest City. Lisa Terry is a hearing specialist, and she would love for you to come by there and let her demonstrate that free hearing test and sort of give you a feel of which ear, both ears, only one ear, if it needing some help. Now, if you're needing some help with hearing, they've got some really wonderful ideas, but there's never any pressure on you to do anything if you don't want to do it. Now, Lisa's in the Forest City office on Tuesdays and Thursdays, other times by appointment. And remember, a hearing loss is more noticeable than a hearing instrument. Call Lisa at Miracle Ear today and find out more about that miracle. 447-7716. Luther Gilligan is next to report to us from Ellenboro. Luther, good morning.
Good morning, you two. It's a nice day there. We're having a good time.
I'm wonderfully happy about that.
Good. I'm glad you're happy. So it's quiet time there. It's one nothing going. She said last medical call was about for them to call last night. Haven't had anything since then, but we had 5 medical calls yesterday. Another thing that caused one, there's nothing going on. This we have birthday. Oh, L.A. Ryan, he's having a birthday today. And Gregory McKinney, he's having one. So these fellas right down there, they live right close together, not far apart. So folks having birthdays today, so I hope they have a good day. I think nothing else happening down here, so you have a great day up there, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Keep your eye on things for us, Luther. Let us know, and we'll see you next time.
All right, take care now.
Bye. That's Mr. Gilligan reporting in Allenboro this morning, and we're opening the phone lines now for birthdays and anniversaries for this 21st day of February. And those that'll call in will be in the drawing for delicious Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. So call now. Todd's standing by to take your call at 287-3356, and we'll celebrate birthdays in just a moment. It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the state of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year. And if you or a loved one experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. That's why the emergency department at Rutherford Regional Health System is a chest pain accredited facility. What does that mean to you? It means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attacks. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to safe quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com.
Your car only needs one place to prepare for the cooler months ahead. RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue, Ruth. RS Express Inspection Station can get you back on the road and keep you legal. RS Speedy Lube Station has 2 lanes to get you in and out in no time. They carry wiper blades and will rotate your tires. Complete car care altogether, including transmission flush and car wash. Count on Chris and his team to take care of all your car needs. Make it your first stop. RS Speedy Lube Service Center, Railroad Avenue in Ruth.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, everybody. Here's the list of names. Richard and Nona Johnson, 38 years together. They live in Rutherfordton. Navia White is 6 up in Shingle Hollow. Lonnie Ray down in Chase having a birthday. Gillian Thorne, is that right? Gillian Thorne, 15, student at East Rutherford. And Jean Brandel over in Ellenboro also is having a birthday today. Robert Hamilton, Scott Hughes, and Sonia and Michael Bowles celebrating birthdays and anniversaries. So happy to all of y'all. We'll find out who's going to win the donuts here in just a moment. Stand by for that.
was cynical, but it did force him to face the reality of his own mortality. It made him think about the things that he really wanted to do in the years that he had left. He decided that what he wanted most in life, what he would not give up if he could not have everything, was being with his family and watching his children grow up. He would rather do that than shape the nation's laws or get his name in the history books. Shortly after his decision was announced, a friend wrote a note to him to congratulate him on having his priorities straight. He wrote, "Nobody on his deathbed ever said, 'I wish I had spent more time on my business.' Our time allocation should reflect what we value most." This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
And a big congratulations going out to the Gala Donuts winner, and that's Richard and Nona Johnson of Rutherford, who married 38 years, celebrating their anniversary with us. Congratulations to Richard and Nona Johnson. Coming up next hour, of course, I'm going to give away a ticket to the southern, or rather to the Country Hamlet Chicken Pie Supper, Saturday, February the 24th at the Spencer Baptist Church. Some tickets are given away in the first few minutes of the next hour. Then 8:30, of course, this morning, Word of Faith is here in the studio again, reporting their side of the story and refuting those accusations. You've been hearing from the national accusers. Now you can hear from those local accusers. First time they have been speaking out in the past 2 weeks on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday mornings at 8:30, telling their side of the story. Tune in this morning at 8:30 for that.
This magic moment, so different and so new, but like any other, until I kiss
style rifle used to kill 17 of their fellow students a week ago. Correspondent Peter King is there.
From here to the Capitol, it's about a half-a-mile walk, but it's up a very, very steep incline in warm weather. The walk should take about 15 minutes or so. Their first meeting at 8 o'clock this morning with Attorney General Pam Bondi. Peter King, CBS News, Tallahassee.
North Carolina House Speaker Tim Moore, who is a father himself, is creating what's called the School Safety Committee. It's a bipartisan group that will study and implement ways to make all schools in North Carolina safer. Speaker Moore says,
we're doing all we can to make sure that North Carolina schools are the safest in the country.
The president is pushing for new gun control measures in the wake of last week's shooting. Margaret Brennan is at the White House where the president sits down today with parents, students, and teachers to talk about school safety.
In the wake of last week's massacre, the White House is showing a new openness to gun control measures. Today, the president will hold a listening session not only with members of the Parkland community, but also those impacted by past school shootings in Columbine and Sandy Hook.
A North Carolina pastor out hunting was killed when authorities say another hunter mistook him for a coyote. The Reverend Michael Seth Marsh was shot and killed on Monday night in Taylorsville. The U.S. Supreme Court is ending North Carolina's fight for a say in the operations and ownership of 4 hydroelectric dams under the theory the state has owned the riverbed since statehood and the country's independence. Alcoa built the dams. You're listening to NCN News.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/aware to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes tax. Service will include a monthly data allowance depending on the type and speed of service you receive. If you exceed your monthly data plan allowance, you will be automatically charged $10 for each 50 gigabytes of data usage in excess of your data plan, even if less than 50 gigabytes is used. For details about data allowances, go to att.com/internet-usage. Wi-Fi enabled device required. Other restrictions apply.
Authorities have announced an indictment in the case of a young Rowan woman last seen alive in 2011. Rowan County Sheriff Kevin Auten told reporters Tuesday that Sandy and Casey Parsons will be charged with murder in the death of Erica Parsons. Auten says this development has been a long time coming.
It's a sense of relief. I won't say it's a happy feeling. It's relief that we've gotten here. It is a sense of accomplishment, but it's also saddening to keep reliving it.
A deadly storm system is causing dangerous flooding from Texas to the Great Lakes. 9 people have died in the storm. DeMarco Morgan reports.
Emergency crews used boats to evacuate people and pets from this neighborhood near the rising Bago Creek.
Water has come up a lot faster than what we kind of anticipated. From the time we've gotten here, I believe the water's come up probably about 10 feet.
Inside some homes, the floodwaters were ankle deep. The Indiana State Police is warning drivers against rolling the dice on roads covered by floodwaters.
It can be very dangerous. You don't know what's underneath that water. The road could be washed out, and it could be extremely deep.
Mark Cuban, the outspoken Shark Tank star and owner of the NBA Dallas Mavericks, says there's a problem in the team's front office, and we've got to fix it.
Cuban saying he's shocked at the expose. At least 6 women telling Sports Illustrated they left the industry entirely over the hostile work environment, as well as over the alleged inappropriate sexual conduct of former Mavericks president Turdima Ussery. Ussery faced down similar accusations 20 years ago. He's denying these new allegations. No players or coaches accused. In fact, Sports Illustrated describes the team's locker room as a refuge from the toxic office environment. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
A worker at the Salvation Army's headquarters for the Carolinas in Charlotte is accused of embezzling nearly $230,000. The employee has not been identified. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356. From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Students who survived the massacre at a South Florida high school are in the state capital of Tallahassee right now. They are
set to meet with lawmakers in the next hour.
We, the people of Stoneman Douglas, are looking for change. We're looking for gun laws to be changed.
Kevin Trejos, a senior at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High. Florida Governor Rick Scott is promising a new plan on school safety.
My goal is Friday, I'm going to come up with a proposal. And it's going to be as well thought out as I can make it.
At the White House this afternoon, President Trump will host a listening session with people affected by school shootings. ABC's Karen Travers says the president is looking at changing some rules around guns.
President Trump Tuesday night on Twitter signaling his support for strengthening background checks for gun purchases, writing that both Republicans and Democrats need to focus on this. Yesterday, the president said he would direct the Justice Department to propose regulations to ban bump stocks. That's the accessory that the Las Vegas shooter used last fall to make his weapon fire more quickly. A bump stock was not used in the Parkland shooting last week. Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein has been pushing for action on this issue, but she says it can't come through a regulation. It has to be legislation passed by Congress. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
ABC News has confirmed the vice president almost met with North Korean officials at the Olympics.
What wasn't known until now is that as Vice President Pence was touring this country, speaking out against North Korea,
the cruel dictatorship,
there was a secret meeting planned between Pence and Kim Jong-un's sister. The Vice President's office and the State Department confirming now there was a meeting planned. But after Pence's tough talk and his unveiling of new sanctions, North Korea canceled the meeting. Alex Stone, ABC News, Pyeongchang.
The Secretary of Defense sends a plan on participation by transgender members of the military to the White House today. The former president and CEO of the NBA's Dallas Mavericks is now accused of repeated inappropriate behavior towards women working for the team. Owner Mark Cuban says he was never told. You're listening to ABC News.
Hey, my name's Brant. You ever make a change and then wonder, why didn't I do this a long time ago? That's what's happening for thousands of people with regard to their health care. They're joining Medishare, and then they're wondering, why didn't I already do this? For most members, it costs less than half what they were paying for their old health plan. There's a huge provider network, too. You can customize your plan, and this is also Medishare members can go online with a doctor 24/7. If you need a prescription for the flu or something, it's so convenient for you and your family. So yeah, this is one of those why did I wait on this things. And if you don't love your current health plan, you're not stuck with it. You can join Medishare anytime. By the way, to give you an idea, the typical savings for a family, about $500 a month. It just makes so much sense. Check it out. They're super easy to talk to. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
There is new outrage racing around Twitter this morning. ABC's Brad Milkey explains why.
It appears to be a so-called bot purge. Twitter periodically deletes accounts that don't seem to have a human attached, but some prominent conservative voices are crying foul, saying they lost thousands of followers and valuable clout overnight as a result. Their critics will say that's the point. Several investigations have concluded bots artificially inflame passions during heated political debates. Some conspiracy theorists are convinced it's an attempt by Twitter to silence real conservative voices.
Today, the peace symbol turned 60.
It's now commonly known as the peace sign, that circle with a vertical line down the center and two smaller lines radiating downward at angles. It's also known as the ban the bomb symbol, first displayed in 1958. Demonstrators held up the sign during Ban the Bomb marches from London to Aldermaston, home of Britain's Weapons Research Lab. The symbol became the logo of the Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament. It was designed by graphic artist Gerald Holtum based on semaphore flag symbols for the letters N and D representing nuclear disarmament. Scott Goldberg, ABC News.
Here's a little piece of advice. If you are riding a bike, don't try to ride it into New York's Lincoln Tunnel, even if your GPS app tells you to do it. That was the excuse from a 19-year-old food delivery guy. He was busted, charged with criminal possession of a weapon. Cops found out he was carrying a dagger on that bike through the Lincoln Tunnel. This is ABC News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Don't let the credit card companies bully you anymore. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. Get free of credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and medical bills. Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, too. Don't go bankrupt. You'll have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Call Total Financial now at 866-844-7344. That's 866-844-7344.
North Carolina Tractor Supply, your Massey Ferguson dealer in Rutherford, has some really great ideas this year. This could be the year for you to get that Massey Ferguson you've been wanting. Stop by today and see what Massey Ferguson and Phil Sheehan at North Carolina Tractor Supply have for you. Check to see if you qualify for 0% financing. Today could be your day at North Carolina Tractor Supply, Railroad Avenue, Rutherford.
Our weather's under the influence of high pressure at the surface where we are and aloft as well, and it's bringing in a lot of low-level moisture and warmth. So we'll go from morning clouds and fog becoming partly to mostly cloudy and warm this afternoon, the high in the low to mid-70s. Tonight is partly to mostly cloudy. Fog develops late tonight and toward daybreak Thursday, the low in the low 60s. Thursday morning, it's clouds and fog. It's partly to mostly cloudy in the afternoon and warm, the high temperature in the low to mid-70s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
It's going to continue to be mostly cloudy throughout the week, except on Friday there's a partly cloudy forecast there with only a 20% chance of showers, so we may get to see some sun on Friday. Highs are going to be 73. Today's high is 73, 75 tomorrow. Then on Saturday, mostly cloudy with isolated showers, highs around 72 with a 40% chance of showers. And on Sunday, 50-50 chance of rain. Right now it's cloudy and 64 degrees. WCAB in Rutherfordton serving the foothills of the Carolinas from AM 590 and on Northland Cable Channel 5 and streaming on the World Wide Web at www.wcab59.com. And congratulations to Richard and Nona Johnson of Rutherfordton on their 38th wedding anniversary. They've won the Daylight Donuts this morning from Granny B's. And we're being kind to teachers of special needs students. We give you a salute this morning. Big salute for you, teachers of special needs students. We salute you and proud of your career choice. We got a lot to pack in this few-minute segment here. First of all, I want to give you a chance to win a couple of country ham and chicken pie supper tickets. It's going to be Saturday evening, 5 until 7 at Spencer Baptist Church in Spindale. These are $10 tickets, all you can eat. Give you a chance to win a couple of tickets if you'll be caller number 5. Caller number 5 at 287-3356, and you've got yourself a pair of tickets to the Country Ham and Chicken Pie Supper at Spencer for Saturday night. Caller number 5, 287-3356.
This wedding is so boring.
Yeah, we need to get this party started. Time for Multiply the Cash Scratch-Offs.
Is that like a new kind of dance-off or something?
No, way better. With Multiply the Cash Scratch-Offs, you can win and multiply your winnings. Here, grab one and pass them along.
Wait, I can win cash?
And then multiply your cash. 5, 10, 20 times, 100.
What's that?
I said 5. 5, 10, 20 times, 100. 5, 10, 20 times, 100. 5, 10, 20 times, 100. Multiply your winnings.
Multiply your fun.
New Multiply the Cash Scratch-Offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery with over $160 million in total prizes. You could multiply your win 5, 10, 20, or 100 times.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning, including break-even prizes, range from 1 at 2.98 to 4.67. Approximate odds to win the top prizes range from 1 at 1.08 million to 2.4 million. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Congratulations to Angela Lane. She won herself 2 tickets to the big supper of the Spencer for Saturday night. Won the tickets. And we'll do this again tomorrow morning. We've got a few more tickets to go tomorrow morning right here on the morning wake-up call.
You do a lot. At Northland, we do internet. You do sports. We do internet that makes games easy to stream. You do movies. We do internet that gives you a world of choices. You do family. We do internet that sounds like the real thing. And now you can get speeds up to 100 megs with internet packages starting at $29.99 a month. Call 888 Northland or visit getnorthland.com today. All rates and tax and fees not available in all areas. Additional restrictions and conditions apply. Actual speeds may vary. See getnorthland.com/offers for full details.
Hello, this is Dwayne Hunt with Insurance Services
our customers in everything we do at Smith's Drugs of Forest City. And we're grateful for you and the pleasure we have of serving the residents of Rutherford County. Have a happy and safe New Year from all of us here at Smith's Drugs of Forest City.
Thank you very much, John. It's 10 minutes after 8 o'clock right now. Let's look at some stories from here and there. The North Carolina Highway Patrol is trying to determine how a local doctor was badly injured while jogging on Union Road Saturday morning. Dr. Robin Pendleton is expected to be okay and is alert and awake at Spartanburg Regional Medical Center. Pendleton had surgery for an injury to his hand. The Highway Patrol is asking if anyone has any information about how he was injured Saturday morning to give them a call. They're investigating it as a possible hit and run. Dr. Pendleton is a well-known Rutherford County OBGYN physician and is also an avid runner. Saturday morning, friend Brad Greenway says Pendleton was jogging home from work when something happened. Pendleton has no recollection of that event. The biggest issue for the Highway Patrol who are working to piece together the incident, investigating as a possible hit and run and saving his injuries or significant. Pendleton managed to walk home, and when his wife saw him, took him to the nursing home. Pendleton suffered a brain bleed along with other injuries. Trooper asking anyone who saw an injured jogger or car with damage in the area to give Crime Stoppers a call. 828-286-TIPS. More information. Forest City Town Commissioners have unanimously voted to support the referendum for school construction. On a unanimous vote tonight, Town Commissioners added their full support of the sales tax referendum that will appear on the May 8th primary election ballot. Mayor Steve Holland said the town board believes the education of residents of Rutherford County is a critical mission and a priority for the town. The referendum will allow voters to consider a quarter-cent sales tax that will go to fund capital and facility needs in the Rutherford County schools and also for community college. The sales tax for Rutherford County would increase from 6 3/4 cents to 7 cents and would create a capital fund to meet the county's educational needs. That'll be on the ballot in May. A group of about 50 students over in Polk County participated in a walkout at the high school Tuesday morning. According to the Times News, the walkout was to protest the mass shootings happening in schools across the country. On Tuesday, the students walked to the entrance of the school next to Highway 108 with some holding signs saying #Enough. All grades on the high school were represented in the walkout, and the event lasted about 20 minutes before students returned to class, according to Times News. Chesney House Fire is under investigation. They don't know what caused the fire. Was reported just before 5 a.m. Tuesday at a house on McSwain Road near Jollywood. They are investigating that. Their hopes of finding what caused the fire. Cooley Springs, Warley Springs, and New Prospect crews responded. Chief White of the Cooley Springs Fire District says it doesn't look like anyone lived at the house and no one was hurt. The fire does appear suspicious. This is a developing story. They'll know more about that as they continue. Well, the Fletcher Police Department is asking our help in searching for a missing 70-year-old man. According to Fletcher Police Department Facebook post, police say Ustasi Terrence Stewart of Fletcher was last seen leaving his home on King Creek Road, February 16th. Stewart reportedly drives a 2009 Chevrolet Silverado truck with a North Carolina registration plate of XXS 4133. That's XXS 4133. The vehicle also has a UNC Tar Heels tag on the front bumper. Anyone with information or see someone who fits this description for a vehicle like this is asked to call the local police or the Fletcher Police at 687-7922. Again, that tag number is XXS 4133. Tag is Tar Heel sticker bumper on the front bumper. Buncombe County Sheriff's Office deputies are searching for a suspect in an armed robbery over in Fairview. According to a news release, the clerk at Red Star Convenience Citgo gas station was robbed after locking the door to the business while she was approaching her vehicle in the parking lot. The suspect is described as being 5 foot 8 inches tall, medium build, and was in his early to mid-20s. According to the release, the suspect had brown hair, wore a navy blue bandana, red, white, and black jacket with blue jeans. The man reportedly pulled out a silver handgun and demanded the clerk's purse and keys to her vehicle. The suspect drove away from the scene in the clerk's white 1995 Toyota Corolla. Anyone with any information is asked to call the local officials or Crime Stoppers at 255-5050. That happened up in Fairview community. 16 minutes after 8 o'clock, we'll have that sheriff's report with Deputy Lancaster in just a moment.
Another question for the Tax Fact Street team.
Hey, IRS, is the fire we had in our kitchen a deductible loss?
I'll tell you after this.
New tax laws cause many taxpayers to lose hundreds or even thousands of dollars in refunds because they or their preparer did not know the changes. And the IRS likes it that way. But there is help available. At Central Tax Service, they will get you the biggest and fastest refund allowed by the IRS. Guaranteed. Do yourself and not the government a favor. Go see Roger Jolly at Central Tax Service at 542 Oak Street in Forest City or call them at 245-0557. With a bigger and faster refund, you will be glad you did.
Losses in property value from unexpected events like hurricanes, fires, and floods are deductible. Even losses due to theft can qualify. Victims in federal disaster areas might even get a faster refund.
Questions? Go to irs.gov.
If you like looking good and finding great deals, Factory Connection is your fashion connection at our new Spindale store opening this weekend. We're located in the White Oak Plaza next door to the Dollar Tree with the latest in denim, unique tops, dresses, and shoes, plus great looks for guys. With savings up to 75% off department store prices, we're the smart shopper's secret weapon when it comes to looking great and saving big. Come see us at Factory Connection in Spindale this weekend.
You know, coin collectors will be happy to know that down at Norm's Coins, Betty stays right on top of the coin collection business. And she's got right down to 2018 Silver Eagles before the supply is depleted. 18 minutes now past 8 o'clock. Here's the sheriff's report from this morning earlier, and Deputy Lancaster was on board to give us that report.
Well, in the last 24 hours, we've had 150 calls for service, 17 arrests, and we currently have 174 in the jail. As far as incident reports go, we have a breaking and entering and larceny after breaking and entering reported by Terry Jean Junk. Reported that a flat screen TV was taken from his residence on Kent Creek Church Road. We have a breaking and entering, larceny after breaking and entering, and a breaking and entering a motor vehicle reported by Bailey Barron Killer from the Durham Road area in Mooresboro. Reported that a computer charger was taken, a vehicle car key, and satellite equipment was taken. As far as arrests go, we've got Bruce Wayne Givens Sr. arrested with assault with a deadly weapon, government official, communicating threats, and assault on a female. He was placed under a $20,000 secured bond. got?
That's Deputy Lancaster reporting in this morning. Just had this news bulletin. Evangelist Billy Graham has died. 99 years old. Just died. Just got that report just a moment ago. He's dead at 99. Great, world famous Evangelist Billy Graham has died. It's 21 past 8. Rutherford Regional Health System now features its walk-in services at Forest City Family Care at 212 Allendale Drive, Forest City, just behind the Tri-City Mall. Those needing walk-in care enjoy the same great services, but now at the new location. They continue to operate Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. The scope of services remain unchanged for the walk-in patients. You don't have an appointment but need to be seen quickly. We hope you'll choose the walk-in services now located at the rear entrance of Forest City Family Care. Many lives around the world have been touched by the message of Billy Graham, and we'll be hearing a lot more in days to come about his great legacy, great ministry. 99. They was hoping that he could hold out to be 100, but he passed away this morning, breathed his last breath. But what a life, what a legacy, what a man. 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, we're being kind today to teachers of special needs students. Special needs students, we salute you and give you a big shout out this morning. And the Daylight Donuts were won by Richard and Nona Johnson on their 38th wedding anniversary. Congratulate them. Give you a big shout out this morning as well. IRS is warning that you need to check your bank account for fraudulent refunds. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. I don't have much time left this morning, but it's looking like you've got some money deposited from the IRS. IRS saying it's not that, it's not them. You're being defrauded. So please watch. You have to watch every nook and cranny anymore, it seems, with so many scandals out there, many scams, and we'll keep you posted on that as best we can. As we hear about them, we'll pass them on to you and let you know that they are trying to get your money.
What makes a good radio station? Local involvement, complete news coverage, sports, constant weather updates, talk shows, contests, today's country hits, and yesterday's memories. Come to think of it, I guess you're listening to it. WCAB.
Sports update coming up here in just a few moments, and then Word of Faith speaks out right here live in the studio at 8:30. Stay tuned. Be informed.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. College hoops last night throughout North Carolina. NC State, they went scoreless on their first 12 possessions against Boston College at PNC Arena in Raleigh. Head coach Kevin Keats afterward commented on the Pac's slow start.
The first 5 minutes of the game, I was going to get up and leave because we hadn't scored. You know, we came out and for whatever reason, we didn't make shots early. And I was okay with it because they only had 6 points. So I know everybody's like, man, everybody start panicking. But my deal was that just keep defending. They wasn't going anywhere. They only had 6 points.
Freshman Braxton Beverly scored 16 points, 15 of them coming by way of 5 first-half three-pointers, and he helped NC State beat BC 82-66. Elric Freeman scored a team-high 20 points in the Pac's third straight win. They improved to 19-9 and 9-6 in the ACC.
What a great game. I'm excited. I'm excited that this group has gotten to 9 wins, and it means a lot protecting your home court.
Elsewhere, Francis Alonso scored 24 points, and James Dickey finished with a double-double as they helped propel UNC Greensboro to a 76-66 win over Wofford. They collected their fourth straight. Mercer, they mangled Western Carolina 81-64. The Hornets announced they fired GM Rich Cho. The 24-33 Charlotte Hornets are on the verge of failing to reach the playoffs for the second straight season. Team owner Michael Jordan's college teammate Buzz Peterson was hired last year as the team's assistant GM. He's a potential replacement for Cho. It's been announced that Louisville must vacate its 2013 men's basketball title following an NCAA appeals panel decision to uphold sanctions against the men's program in the sex scandal case. The Cardinals will have to vacate 123 victories, including the championship, and return more than $500,000 in postseason revenue. Whoever had Michigan in their 2013 bracket, now's a good time to make your argument. This is NCN Sports.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/aware to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes tax. Service will include a monthly data allowance depending on the type and speed of service you receive. If you exceed your monthly data plan allowance, you will be automatically charged $10 for each 50 gigabytes of data usage in excess of your data plan, even if less than 50 gigabytes is used. For details about data allowances, go to att.com/internet-usage. Wi-Fi enabled device required. Other restrictions apply.
Lindsey Vonn did not get gold, but instead won the bronze in her last Olympic downhill of her career. The American was beaten by her friend Sofia Goggia of Italy. Meanwhile, high excitement and high drama for Team USA and men's hockey.
Mental hopes for the U.S. men's hockey team came to a sudden end as the Americans lost to the Czech Republic 3-2 in a shootout. Neither team could score in overtime. That forced the shootout, each team getting 5 chances to score. Both goaltenders excelled. U.S. goaltender Ryan Zapolsky stopped 4 of the 5 shots, but the Czech goaltender stopped all 5. Steve Futterman, CBS News at the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang.
And NBC not happy that the NHL players not taking part. The executives for NBC Sports saying that ratings are down heavily across all their platforms for Olympic viewers. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Our weather's under the influence of high pressure at the surface where we are and aloft as well, and it's bringing in a lot of low-level moisture and warmth. So we'll go from morning clouds and fog becoming partly to mostly cloudy and warm this afternoon, the high in the low to mid-70s. Tonight is partly to mostly cloudy. Fog develops late tonight and toward daybreak Thursday, the low in the low 60s. Thursday morning, it's clouds and fog. It's partly to mostly cloudy in the afternoon and warm, the high temperature in the low to mid-70s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Still cloudy this morning and 64 degrees. We started out at 61. We've climbed to 64 already, but on our way up to about 73 for a daytime high, but those scattered showers will be in our forecast every day this week. Looking toward the weekend on Saturday, mostly cloudy with isolated showers, highs around 72. Now we're getting up as far as 75 tomorrow. Doesn't that feel like springtime to you? Then on Sunday, mostly cloudy with scattered showers, highs around 71. Right now, though, cloudy. We've had some rain this morning. We may get a little more before it's over with, so take your umbrellas handy with you today. 64 degrees and cloudy here at WCAB in Rutherford. It's 8:30. Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Word of Faith Response. Thank you so much again for listening to us. You have been hearing the truth about the Word of Faith Fellowship. You've been hearing the wonderful things that God has done in our lives, and we're so glad to be able to share that with you today. We have a wonderful family with us today that you're going to hear about. Sitting right next to me is Alex and Yvette. They came here from Texas in 1999. They've been here 19 years. And then we also have Yvette's sister with us today, Emily, and she came here the year after in 2000. Now, we're going to hear an amazing, miraculous story from all three of these people, how they had an entire different life in Texas. And so I'll tell you, people, when I was hearing about their former life in Texas and how they were going down the wrong path, I couldn't even believe I was talking to these people. God has so transformed their lives. You're going to hear about Alex's life in gangs and all their lives involved, Emily's life in drugs, and it's truly amazing what has happened in their lives. And you're going to hear about the transforming power of God today in their lives. You're also going to hear about how God brought their other family members here from Texas. You're going to hear about how God brought their dad here, Yvette and Emily's dad here from Texas, and that his two prior wives are here in our church with us, and his current wife is also in our church at Word of Faith Fellowship, and all three wives, current and former wives, get along great, and they love each other. So stay listening, because we're going to hear how that all worked. And so we've been talking now for quite a while about how God has a wonderful plan for your life. And this is something that's been taught at our church, at the Word of Faith Fellowship, for years. It's so clear in the Scripture. In Jeremiah 29, God says a promise to us, and He says that He knows the thoughts and plans that He has for our lives. And He says those plans are for welfare and peace, and to give us hope in our final outcome. Isn't that good news, that God actually has a plan for us, and His plan for each one of us is for welfare and peace? And I'll tell you, I need that. I need that welfare and peace. And so this is the plan that God has for us. We also been talking about in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. It says that God has actually preordained and destined for us plans before we were ever born. And actually, when you read in the Amplified, it talks about these plans, and it says these plans are happy paths that God has for our life. So it is so good to know that God has this wonderful plan for our life, and it's a plan of peace, welfare, happiness, everything that you could ever want. That's the plan that God has for you. And so we've also talked about how the devil has a plan that he wants to destroy us. It's very clear in John chapter 10. Jesus actually said that the devil wants to kill, steal, and destroy our lives. He made it clear. And so we know that we do have an enemy. It's the devil, and that's what he wants to do. And so what we've seen so many times is that we've gone down the devil's path instead of the wonderful path that God has. And so that is part of what we're going to share about today, is how this family was going down the devil's plan for their lives, and how God just pulled them out of the pit miraculously. And so, you know, it's so amazing in our church how we really have a lot of diversity. We have people that have come from all over the country. We also have people that have come from many, many different countries. I think right now we're about 17 different countries that have come here to Little Spindale at Word of Faith Fellowship. And you know, the Bible talks about that. The Bible talks about how God will bring His people together. It actually references God will bring them from the north, the south, the east, and the west. And He will bring us together for His purpose. Because when God's called us together as one family, we're one. It doesn't matter if you come from Texas, or like me, Los Angeles, or from wherever else. Because God has His plan. He joins us together as one family. So we're going to hear about that. But I want to jump right into this. And so, Alex, I want to start with you. Will you go back into your younger years? Tell us how you were initially going down the devil's plan for your life.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mark. Yes, my dad moved up here. Into the United States when and my mom. We lived in Texas, and we were. We're a big family. There's 11 of us, and he owned bars. That's how he supported us. He owned bars, so we were always around the drinking, the smoking, the dancing, and all that. And And then even our neighborhood, we had 9 bars in our neighborhood. And so there was gangs, there was prostitution, there was fights, even our house got shot at. So it was just the life that we lived back then. We didn't know any better life than what we were living then, But I do remember when we were young, my parents, they tried their best, but they knew this Spanish minister, and they would call him, and it was Church of Christ, and they would come and pick us up in the bus and would take us to church. So I knew at that point that there was a better way of life, but we still had this lifestyle that we were living, so I knew that we knew about Jesus, and we knew about God, and what He wanted to, that He died for us, but still we were so much in the world that we just didn't really change, and so when I went to the 7th grade, that's when things started changing for me, because that's at 12 years old, I got into gangs. I got into a lot of fights. There was drugs in our school. There was the police was always there. We were always in the newspaper, and so that's the kind of lifestyle that I just knew, and the drugs, and so finally the school was shut down. And because there was so much going on, and that's when we were totally bused to other schools, and that's how I met Yvette, my wife today, and once we went to when I started going to her school, that's when I started changing, and the lifestyle of the drugs and in a lot of the fights, the gang fights and all that, that's when I started leaving all that, and so.
And you mentioned that you were in gangs. Was there any dangerous situations that you were involved in while you were in these gangs?
Yes, I was shot at 3 different times, and like I said, my house got shot at. So I could see the God's hand on my life, really, and it's just amazing how God pulled me out of all that, and so that's why I'm so grateful,
And you said that so you changed schools. They shut down your school. You end up going to Yvette's school, and that's where you met Yvette.
Yes.
And so let's hear a little bit from Yvette about your younger years and where you were going down the devil's path for your life.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Mark. Thank you so much, Jim, for giving us opportunity. I'm really excited because God's really given us the opportunity to actually speak truth and tell about really what the truth is about what, how God has changed our lives here in our church. We had a pretty much normal upbringing, our parents, for a little while. About 12 years old, my parents, they'd been married for 13 years. And, they did the best they could. They both had good jobs. They supplied well, they provided for us. And it was, as far as we were concerned, happy, there were things here and there, but, overall. And then one day Dad came in, and we were very close to our dad. I'll say that first. We were very close to Dad because he was always kind of someone who searched, was really seeking God. We grew up in the Catholic Church, but he was always, he bought some Bible story books, and he would try and put us to bed. Him and my mom actually, before they were married, because they married very young, they actually had me at 18 and 19 years old. So because they were so young, their lifestyle before that, they both were in gangs. My dad was in gangs. My mom, was kind of the popular girl, so they, had a bit of a party lifestyle. I say a bit. It was a big bit of a party lifestyle before that. And so they tried their best to settle down. Dad said that really was a changing point in his life when I was born. And he really settled down, and he was a family man. He came from a big family himself. And so, Yeah, 12, 13 children. It was 13 when passed away, but it was 12 children. And so he really loved that family life. And so he was determined to do what he could, the best for us, you know. And so so he'd come in and he'd read us Bible stories and he'd play with the different things like that. And so, you know, we were very close to him. So then, you know, about 12 years old, right before I went into the 7th grade, you know, he sat us down and he said, you know, that he was going to leave. He was going to live in a different house, you know. And him and Mom couldn't work it out. And they just couldn't work out different things in their life, you know. And so we were
She wasn't the housewife.
Yeah.
He really wanted. She didn't do certain things that he felt like needed to be done as a wife and teaching us things, so.
And so
cleaning the house was one of the big ones.
Different things like that, you know. So we were devastated. We were devastated. I mean, it really was very, very hard. You know, I was older. Emily's almost 5 years younger than I am, and so she's pretty little. She's about 8 years old.
Well, we cleaned the whole house the next day, from top to bottom, thinking that would change things and maybe Daddy would stay, but it didn't, you know, because obviously there were other reasons, but he was trying to break it to us as softly as he did. And we appreciated that. Later on in the years, we knew he was trying to, you know,
right. So
not hurt us, but.
You know, and really the thing was is they were both having relationships outside of the marriage, you know, and so, you know, that, and I talk about them today, you know, like they're different people because like Mark
Totally
said,
changed.
you know, we're all together now, you know, we're all in the church now, and how God has really changed our lives. But so, you know, when I talk about them, it's as if I'm talking about somebody else, but
That's right.
you know, so they were cheating on each other and that drove them apart from each other. But Mom never kept us from Dad or anything. You know, a year later he got married, or about a year later he got married and we lived in West Texas. So at that point he moved to Dallas. And so, you know, we didn't see him as often, you know, we stayed in touch, visited, that type of thing. But he, and Mom at that point dealt with it the best she knew. But in that she turned to, you know, that party lifestyle. She turned to, you know, drinking and just seeking other ways, you know, to be able to satisfy that hurt in her own heart.
And then she worked a lot to
And she
try to
worked a
provide
lot.
for
So
us.
we were by ourselves a lot.
Mhm.
And about that same time, you know, we were young, and like Alex said, you know, we met in junior high. And so we became very close, and, you know, we actually had dated each other for 10 years, on and off, over that whole course of time. But back then, you know, so Alex, because Mom was gone, you know, there were times that she'd be gone, you know, even all night. And so, you know, we were afraid at times. And so Alex would come, you know, and this is, we're about 16, 17, somewhere in there. I am. And so he'd come and stay the night over at the house. Well, there was one night that we were all there, and I had set the alarm at 4 o'clock in the morning because I didn't want Mom to know that he was there. And so, you know, but we didn't want to be by ourselves, you know. And so, anyway, so I woke up to turn the alarm clock off, and I turned around, and the house was full of smoke. And when I walked out of the bedroom, I saw that our bathroom was totally ablaze in fire. And that was a scary thing. And so as I woke them up, and because it's just us three, and woke us all up, and then ran to the phone, and the phone lines were dead. There was no way we could get out. There was no way we could get help.
We were trying to put the fire out. There was no way. The gas knob had broken off, so it was filling the house with gas. We didn't know it.
Fire was blazing, and Emily's about 10. You know, I'm maybe 15, 16, something like that. She runs out of the house. She runs out.
And by the mercy of God, I mean, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and our neighborhood was very quiet. We didn't have, patrolling police and things like that, like the South Side had. But there was a police officer driving by, and I waved him down, and I said, we need help. Our house is on fire. And so he said, what is it? And he said, y'all need to get out of there right now. He said that place could blow up. So we ran out, and I think Mom came home and maybe the middle of that, or at some point with fire trucks and
we couldn't find
police and everything.
We didn't know how to get in touch with her.
So that was kind of a change where she started coming.
Well,
her
at that
boyfriend
point
moved in.
Yeah, at
after
that point she didn't
want to leave
that
us.
pretty much crushed her. She didn't like that she had left us, so
Yeah.
she moved. Her boyfriend moved in with us, and I had moral somewhere in all that. They did put a moral foundation, high moral standards in my heart. So
we were in the Catholic Church.
Yeah,
and we knew the Ten Commandments. And our grandfather,
from our Bible stories
our
and
grandfather was a deacon, so we had learned right from wrong, so to speak.
Right, and so I knew there were certain things you didn't do. Before you were married, there were certain things you just didn't do in your life. And so I always had that in my heart. There was always a place in my heart that I wanted to do. I wanted to know God. I wanted to do what was right. I just knew there was. I just knew that there was. God. That's all I could say. And so, knowing that, I did not like that there was this man in our house. I did not like that. And of course I had, I was with Alex, and I kind of stayed out of trouble that way. I tried to, I didn't do the party lifestyle. I never felt comfortable doing that. I tried, and I could not do it. It was just so hard for me to do that. I was so out of, like a fish out of water. Yeah. So at that point, I determined that I was going to move. And since Dad had lived in Dallas, I'd been there, many times. Dad had started attending a large church there, and I liked it there. And actually, Dad gave us a Bible in that whole time frame. I was probably about 12 years old. That was the first time we'd had a Bible.
He sent us our first Bibles.
Our first Bibles, and so we read, and so I'd read it occasionally, and there were different places that God spoke to me out of there. This is a long story. So we moved. I determined I was going to move. I was going to leave Odessa. I was going to leave after I graduated high school, and just go live with Dad and go to school there with Dad and his wife. And so going to Dallas, eventually Mom and Emily.
My mom was devastated when she left, and because we were very close. My sister and I were very close. We were all we had, us three in our eyes, and although we had a big family, but Mom, once she left, it was just a few months after that we had to go too. So Mom made away. Her boyfriend got a job transfer. She got a job transfer. I was pulled out of 9th grade, and all my friends, and it was pretty devastating for me to go to a new city, a big city at that, because Odessa is pretty small. It's not as small as Rutherford, Rutherfordton, but it's a little bit, it's not big. And that was a very hard decision for me, because I almost stayed, which I think my life would have turned out a different way as well if I stayed. But thankfully, we did move.
Your boyfriend moved.
Yeah, and 3 months later, I had actually started dating Alex's younger brother at the age of 13, and kind of following in my sister's footsteps and my mom's footsteps, not knowingly, doing that. But I began a long-term relationship at the age of 13, and we were in the middle of that relationship when she moved. So when she moved and we moved, my mother, her boyfriend, and I, and then Alex's little brother, my boyfriend, moved in 2 months later. And needless to say, I ended up becoming pregnant at 15 years old and having my first child, my son, at 15. And I kind of dealt with things differently than my sister. Unfortunately, I kind of went another way. She sought God, and I went the way of the partying and pushing down and finding another way, an outlet to deal with the hurt, So even though I had a foundation in me somewhere, I did love Jesus. I knew that there was right and wrong, and I actually had read the whole book of Revelations when I first got my Bible, and that put the fear of God in me, that Jesus was coming back one day, and he was coming for a bride without spot, wrinkle, or blemish. And I didn't know what that meant, but I knew somewhere that meant you had to be not in sin, So anyhow, we end up all in Dallas together, and we end up all going to the church that my dad was going to.
We all ended up in that big church there. Mm-hmm. And he was, the church there was a mega church, so there are thousands of people. So, we tried to do, in the meantime, Alex and I, of course, had gotten older into our early 20s and got married, and soon after had our son. And so we were trying to, as always, I just wanted to seek God.
We wanted better for our children.
Yes.
We did want better for our children.
Right. And we never wanted our children to experience the life that we lived. And so,
because we didn't clean and we didn't know how to do.
We didn't know how to
do
anything. we were raised ourselves.
Yes, we raised ourselves. So it was hard, with mom gone, dad gone. It's just us. We've got our two cousins.
Learn how to clean.
Alex would come over and help us to do dishes and different things like that. So we
raised ourselves.
Yeah. So we wanted our children to learn a little bit different.
And so about that time, we were seeking God, and Dad, there was a team that actually went down, or I say it was ministers, Sam and Jane and the pastors here and ministers from this church actually went down to that big church in Dallas. And the pastor there was having a hard time and was going through some things himself, and had, requested, for them to help. And so, had met through different connections, and that, which is the story in itself. And so, that those ministers came down to our church, and before all that time, before we even had done all that, just out of my place of seeking God and just really wanting God, I'd lay on my face constantly, especially after we had our son, and I just wanted God's will, and I knew that there was something different. I just want to know how to pray. I mean, I was like, God, being raised, in the church, but you're living in the world, you don't, there's so much confusion about your lifestyle, and if you're really, am I going to go to heaven? Am I going to go to heaven? And it was just like, the different ones that were in places of ministry didn't walk that lifestyle. They didn't have it, So, even I tried to listen to Christian music, and it was like it didn't, I'd find out about the different singers, and they were having adulterous affairs too. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, that's what my family, that's my parents, And I just couldn't, I'm like, God, is there anybody who serves you, anybody who really is genuinely walking with you, true ministers, true, people who live what they preach.
Yes.
It really was what it was, who lives what they preach. And so at that time, I had been crying out to God and asking about, and even myself. I didn't want to be a hypocrite myself. And there were areas in my life I was, because I didn't have Jesus. I was not, I tried, but I could not get there.
We were Romans 7, trying to do the things that we knew were right to do and had no ability to walk it out, to live it. You were constantly, you knew what was right, but you constantly did what you didn't want to do, and you didn't know how to get out of that. I went to the altar probably 25 times, going down and saying the sinner's prayer and trying everything I had, and it just, to me, was like, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. And I know a lot of people feel that way because they don't come to Jesus, and they don't really meet Jesus sometimes through those altar calls and different things, and so you get discouraged, and we were discouraged at this point. I think I was in and out about that time. Yeah, I had been having troubles with her dad, Isaac's dad, my son, and we broke up, and I was absolutely devastated. So I went full-fledged again into the world, and instead of seeking God further, and then shortly after, I think I met Jay, and we started coming back to church, got married against everybody's wishes. Everybody warned me and begged me, do not marry that man, and I married him anyway. But the first, again, we had a child, and I found myself back in church, and I think that's about the time they did all come.
Right.
And we heard them preach.
Right.
And it was like rivers of rushing waters, just the truth for the first time.
It was, because, there was a minister there that had stayed over, Sam and Jane and some of the ministers went over for a week and had a seminar there in Dallas. And we weren't there at that point, but my dad and my stepmom, they said, you have got to get there. And my dad was like, this is the real deal. This is
what I've been looking for all my life.
He said, you've got to get there. Whatever you do, get there. Whatever you need to do.
Didn't say something to you.
Yeah, he actually said to me, he said, do whatever you have to do, even if you have to be off of work for a whole week, you've got to be here. And we didn't go. And we didn't see the seriousness of what he was feeling, because I've always think back, I said, well, what would it have been if we would have gone at that time? I knew we would have been changed then, but, God through his mercy,
over, so that's
right.
for us.
So, but, we didn't go, but, like I said, God, through His mercy, we were able to come back around with it all.
Right. So, so that minister was preaching about just that same thing about you wanted to be a Christian, you wanted to live a godly life, you wanted to do what was holy, you wanted to live according to the book of Acts. I mean, it's very clear in there about loving each other and sharing things, alike, and just laying down your life for others, and and that was my heart, but I had no idea how to get there. And here he's preaching about that, and I'm thinking, this is it. This is exactly, about...
He actually shared about his experience where he wanted to die. I mean, this is our pastor.
Oh, I'm actually talking about Douglas.
Oh, Douglas, I'm sorry.
Douglas, who had shared here in the radio station where he was the one that had stayed over.
Yes, okay.
And he had shared about how, we needed deliverance. Even as Christians, we needed deliverance. And taught about the widow, with the issue of blood. And how, Jesus said, even this daughter of Abraham, shouldn't she be free? Where the Pharisees were just, you're healing on the Sabbath, that type of thing. But shouldn't she be free, this daughter of Abraham? So right then, she wanted God. She had God in her. She wanted what was God, but she needed healing. And that's what we needed, was healing and deliverance. And so that was everything I wanted.
I'm sorry. I'll go back and clarify what I was saying. Our pastor had come to get help.
In the big church.
From the big church, our pastor came here to get help. And so they had come there as well, too, because he did need our help in the big church. And so that's where he did demonstrate
and I know
where his life has changed. I know we're running close, but one of the main things I want to impress upon you today is when he came back from here, we knew there was a big difference in his life. We could see it. And he shared about how he was almost to the point of death, wanting to die because he had gone through a lot of stuff. And so he taught about deliverance and prayer, strong crying, travail, groanings. And when he did that, he demonstrated it. And he wailed out to God from the depths of his being. And it hit you like a ton of bricks. And it was like... I remember it today.
I wanted.
We knew that's it, and he talked about having devils, where demons come in you because of things you've opened yourself up to all your life, and why you can't, a lot of times you can't change because you don't have deliverance. Right. And it was key.
That was it.
And we are out of time, and they're going to come back for us on Friday because this is right at the time when God really starts speaking to their hearts. You just heard Emily share about the prayer that God was showing them to pray for God to really let the Spirit of God help them as they pray and transform their life. So we're going to pick back up on Friday because there's a whole lot more that God does in their lives and really starts to transform them, and God really shows them His ways. So I hope that you will tune in. That'll be Friday at 8:30. Remember that our website has all of our radio programs. So you can go to wordoffaithfellowship.org and you'll see the radio program link. You can go to that and you can watch all our programs. You also learn a lot about our church. Thank you. I hope you have a great day.
Start the day with local news with the popular morning report at 6:55 a.m. Get North Carolina news, national news from ABC, and local reports from Lake Lure to Cliffside. Be the first to know on WCAB.
Enjoy the Atlanta Braves and NASCAR here on the Foothills Most Sports Station, WCAB, Rutherfordton.
Variety makes radio listening a pleasure. We have it. News, weather, sports, talk shows, today's country hits, and yesterday's memories. WCAB, Rutherfordton.
24/7 WCAB is serving the foothills of the Carolinas. Learn more about us at www.wcab59.com. News. I'm Sherry Preston. The evangelist who became known as America's pastor